Hello hunters, my name is Dark Hero, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Switch Axe is by far the weapon that I have used the most so far in Sunbreak, as well as the weapon that has been the most fun for me. It is incredibly powerful now, especially with the counter, and after posting my Switch Axe is overpowered video on the main channel, a lot of you guys were asking about my Switch Axe build because of the insane damage it was dealing. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys what I believe to be the very best Switch Axe builds, and I'll also make sure to include some builds that remove some optimization in terms of damage for some extra comfort. Because I know not everyone is a speedrunner, not everyone cares about just maximizing everything. So with that being said, let's get started and take a look at the very first build. And this one, I really do believe that it is the strongest Switch Axe build you can make in Sunbreak. The weapon you're going to be using is the Vengeful Fell Cleave. This is the Scorned Magnamalo Switch Axe, and it is by far the most powerful Switch Axe in the game. It's absolutely insane. It is a power-filed Switch Axe that comes with 340 attack, purple sharpness, 27 blast, 1 level 3 decoration slot, 1 level 2 decoration slot, and 1 level 2 rampage slot. Of course, the only downside is that this Switch Axe comes from Scorned Magnamalo, so you need to be master rank 100 or above to be able to craft it, but if you're not, don't worry, I'll have more powerful builds for you in the video. For this set, you want to use a Malzeno helmet, the Archfiend armored chest piece, the Malzeno braces, Archfiend armor waist, and the Dev Stench legs. From this point on, you should try to craft a few decorations in order to max out attack boost, critical boost, and rapid morph. Of course, if you have a God Roll talisman, this may be easier or harder for you, and you may be able to slot in some other decorations. And of course, make sure that you use your rampage slot to add that anti-monster species decoration in order to increase your damage by 5% against the monster you're hunting. As you can see with this build, I have maxed out attack boost, critical boost, weakness exploit, and wirebug whisperer like I've told you, but I have also maxed out speed sharpening and protective polish, because the Switch Axe has so little purple sharpness, so you want to be able to maintain it at that level for a long period of time. You don't need to worry about getting chain crit from any decoration because the armor pieces will already give you that maxed out, but like I said, if you have a really good talisman you can add some extra points into something like a Fate Extender or some other quality of life skill. Now another small disadvantage that this Switch Axe build has is that it cannot use the Rampage decoration File Switch Boost, which requires a level 3 rampage slot. Now, I do believe that you actually get more damage by using the anti-monster species decoration, but File Switch Boost is a really nice decoration to use because of its quality of life feature of giving you a little bit of sword gauge each time you switch between axe mode and sword mode. Speaking of which, the next build, which is a lot easier to craft, does take use of File Switch Boost. It uses the Rathalos Switch Axe, the High Rubelion Switch Axe, which is still very powerful, not as good as Magnamalo's in my opinion. It is a power file type Switch Axe that comes with 330 attack, 47 fire element, 2 level 1 decoration slots, and 1 level 3 rampage slot. And like I said, because we have that rampage slot, we are able to use File Boost. For your armor pieces, these are going to be very similar to the ones in the previous build, so we're using the Malzeno helmet, the Archfiend armor chest piece, the Malzeno braces, the Rathalos coil waist, and the Malzeno greaves. And just like before, you want to use your decorations to max out attack boost, critical boost, weakness exploit, wirebug whisperer, and rapid morph. Those skills are your priorities when it comes to making a build for the Switch Axe. With this build we don't get chain crit level 3, but I think that's okay because after some testing I don't think it's as good as I initially thought. As you can see, I've also used other decorations to max out speed sharpening and protective polish, because much like with the Magnamalo Switch Axe, this one doesn't have a lot of purple sharpness and you want to make sure that you keep it that way for the longest period of time possible. This build doesn't have chain crit level 3, you could have it if you're very lucky with your talisman, but I didn't prioritize getting chain crit level 3 because after some testing turns out this skill isn't as powerful as I thought initially, so it is okay to forego chain crit if you are able to get all of these skills maxed out first. One really cool thing about this build is that you can replace the Rathalos Switch Axe with any other power file type Switch Axe that has a level 3 rampage slot, and you'll be good to go. However, if you want to focus on elemental file Switch Axes, then there are a few key elements to take into account. Now, one thing to note is that even when focusing a single element on a build, let's say using Dragon Up 5 and the Rampage Decoration Alum Bane, most elemental file builds for the Switch Axe are still going to be outperformed by the ones I showcased earlier. But if you are okay with that and just want to use an elemental file Switch Axe, either because it builds up sword gauge faster or because it's your preferred playstyle, then let's take a look at what I believe to be the best element file type Switch Axe. Now, the cool thing about elemental file type Switch Axes is that you can make pretty much the same build for every single one of them and just change a few decorations around to make sure that you increase the element corresponding to the weapon you're using. Two things to keep in mind as well is that the Rampage Decoration Alum Bane 3 is really good for elemental type Switch Axes, but not all of them have a level 3 rampage slot, in which case you'll have to go with an anti-monster species rampage decoration. The second thing is that you'll notice that in these builds, I have decided to let go of crit boost level 3 in order to get crit chain level 3, as because of the elemental playstyle you'll be doing more damage this way. So for this build we're using the Almudron Helmet, the Archfiend Armor Chest Piece, the Malzeno Braces, Archfiend Armor Waist, and the Malzeno Greaves. For the weapons, if you want to go for fire, I recommend using the Magma Almudron. Water, you should be going with the regular Almudron. For thunder, you should go with the Narwa Switch Axe, even though it only has a level 2 rampage slot. For dragon, you should go with the Calamitous Switch Axe. And for ice, you should go with the Lagombi Switch Axe. Now, when it comes to decorations in your talisman, your priority is going to be to max out attack boost, rapid morph, and also the corresponding elemental attack stat. So for example, the Voidbringer Axe, the Almudron Switch Axe, you will want to max out water attack. Now with the Magma Almudron and the regular Almudron Switch Axe specifically, these ones only have white sharpness, but you can go up to purple sharpness with 3 levels of handicraft. So make sure that you craft some handicraft decorations, or if you have a really good talisman, you'll be able to slot in more skills. And also because these Switch Axes in particular, even with handicraft level 3, can only go up to 10 units of purple sharpness, it is imperative to also get protective polish level 3. And again, if you have a perfect talisman, you will be able to play around more with the decorations and achieve something like this, where you also have speed sharpening level 3. And because the Narwa Switch Axe can have a lot of purple sharpness with level 3 handicraft, what you can do is forego 1 level of handicraft and give it some other different skills. So for your talisman, if you're looking for something in particular, I would recommend having something like handicraft level 2 or attack boost level 3 with 1 or 2 different slots. That should be enough. And of course for decorations, as I stated earlier, you will want to max out the elemental attack boost. So for example, you will craft 1 hard stream decoration, as well as 2 level 1 stream decorations in order to get water attack boost level 5. Because you need to play around having both attack boost and the elemental attack boost maxed out, and in the case of fire as well as water you will need a lot of points into handicraft, these builds end up being somewhat more quote-unquote expensive than the ones I showed earlier. But all in all, these are what I believe to be the very best builds you can have for Switch Axe in Sunbreak. Of course, things may change in the future with new title updates, and if that's going to be the case, then be sure to subscribe, as I will stay on top of everything when it comes to Switch Axe, as it is my main weapon in Sunbreak, and I will try to bring an updated endgame build video once we get new content, so you guys know what is best to use. I also want to give a shout out to Fox Invictus. He is an insane Switch Axe speedrunner, and he also has some informative videos. So if you want to know more about the Switch Axe, make sure you give him a follow. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching. My name is Dark Hero, and as always, happy hunting.